in and enjoying us live. It's always a mixed bag, whether
Sure,
two people show up or 20, you just don't know sometimes. But
sure,
if more keep coming in later, I'll stop and reintroduce you as we
sure.
go.
Yep.
But for now, I'll start with the official introduction. So I'm Sid Graff with the Huge Convention, and this is our huge live stream where we introduce a lot of our speakers and our vendors that are going to be at the show. And I've got Nabeel Rehman from Vonigo on with us. And Nabeel, Vonigo, we were joking offline. At first time I saw it, I was like, "Isn't that the phone company?" I was like, "No, no, it's a comprehensive platform for service business management." And you've been with the company for 13 years, right?
Absolutely. 13 years. I never forget that because I joined Vonigo shortly after my son was born and he just turned a teenager.
Oh wow,
So easy for me to remember. 13 years.
yeah,
So yeah, it's been awesome. And I had in my role as a senior onboarding and implementation manager, just having that growth with the company and having the pleasure and the opportunity and really the fortune of working with great customers and really helping them understand what they need, what the software can do for them, how we can help them, how can we become the heartbeat of their business, and love doing it.
yeah, that's cool. So I've been in home service for a long time, and
Yeah,
my first company was in Florida, and it
nice.
was so we didn't have a computer. I mean, we started broke and from scratch. And my first version of Vonigo, it wasn't Vonigo, of course, it was a CRM
Yep,
it was just a shoebox with note cards in
yep,
it, and I was shuffling everything,
that's right.
and I can't believe I thought it then. This was 1996. I bought a computer and started digitizing everything. Had a that wasn't even a CRM; it was just a database management
Yep,
software. And I'm working late nights putting it all in. And I thought to myself out loud, I was like, "This is dumb. This is taking so much time. Like
yep.
I'm wasting time adjusting to going digital." And of course, like anything, you put the time in up front, and then it saves you massive amounts later as you go.
Absolutely. And I've been an entrepreneur in a past life too. And the bug is still there. Once it bites you, you want to go back, right?
Mhm.
But you know that, you didn't start a business to be a technology head, right? These days we will all walk around with the most sophisticated pieces of technology in the world, and that's our cell phones, right? But
Yeah.
it's so easy to use. Right, like that's what's done now, right? Is we don't even give it a second thought, right? And so, what we're able to provide customers is, hey, we are a technology company. We're here for those needs. You're good at running your business. I often get customers, when I'm onboarding them and we're working with them very deeply as we do in a very consultative way. They're like, "Wow, you're fast." I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably fast at your job. I can't be." So it's you know what I mean, and it's really about putting the technology to work for them, freeing up your time, right? Giving you your time back as a business owner. It's hugely important as you're looking to scale, right? But you want to scale in a way that's going to let you maintain some level of visibility and control over what you've built, and then
Mhm.
also give you the flexibility to bring up more people onto it in a way that's predictable. So it's basically getting an operations management system that is going to allow you to ease of use, right? That's the key. It's going to allow you to onboard. We're going to work with you very collaboratively to understand what your needs are, because no two businesses are alike, right? So
Mhm.
we're not going to make any assumptions, but we'll bring our best practices, because like I said, we work with a lot of different industries, and so we're going to help you. We're going to meet you where you're at, but we're also going to show you where the system can take you, from not just the today, but the tomorrow and beyond. And so you focus on what you're good at, get your time back, grow your business, and the system will take care of that with you.
Okay, cool. So when people are coming on, when
Yeah.
a new customer, and maybe they've, you so you're much more comprehensive than a CRM.
Sure.
Maybe they've just been operating out of a CRM and they're like, I've
Yeah.
outgrown this. We need the scheduling and the
Yeah.
dispatch and the
Right.
live displays and other things too. Since you do a lot of onboarding,
Yep.
what surprises new clients most about Vonago and the capabilities of it?
What's interesting is that it's oftentimes customers will say, "You already thought of that, haven't you?" Like, and that's the key, right? Is we're giving you software that's ahead of where you're at, but we'll give you what you need today. But when you in a little bit of time, when you are adding a second technician and you're splitting your territories, and you're like, can I really do that in a way that allows me control and also lets my technicians not overlap territories? Well, it's already there. right? So the idea is that the aha moment comes because in onboarding, we're trying to get you going and up and running. Everybody's busy, but we've got, we're going to get you up and running. But we'll show you some of the bells and whistles that are part of the system, but they don't really click or resonate once you're really in the system. And then the aha moments come to, and they're like, glad I found you. You guys have already thought about it. And they can connect the dots, right? To see, okay, the experience you guys have gained as a product working over the years with just not just service businesses that are one location, but those that are multi-location, those that are not just one brand, multi-brand, those that are franchised as well. So kind of having that collection of thought leadership combined with our customers' requirements, it just creates a great symphony, right? And it's like, oh wow, okay, I'm gonna need this. Okay, they've already thought about it. And I think that's fulfilling, and it's a great moment to have with customers.
Yeah, yeah. Remember the first time we changed CRMs, we were one to another, and it was painful because it was like, oh, it wasn't even the one that we were using was so great. We were just accustomed to it, so everything was natural. And then, but now you got to change. But we outgrew it because it was great for a solo operator. Excellent, incredible.
That's right.
And it was really good when you had like 4 employees in the field, 4 technicians.
Yeah.
And after that, it was just a hot mess. And so I wanted to ask if in franchise worlds, looking over the website and stuff, you work with a lot of franchise level home service businesses.
Yeah.
Is there a brand or a family of franchises that they have said, like ServiceMaster, and they're like, everyone's using this software, that this is the go-to, or not the go-to, but the required use software for the entire franchise brand as a franchisee top down?
Yeah, absolutely. And say again.
Is that normal in the industry, or
Yeah, that's a great question, Sid, because I think that when you think franchising, right? Let's think brick and mortar franchises, right? The amazing McDonald's French fry example, right? Tastes the same everywhere, right? That doesn't happen by accident.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to get into McDonald's 101 here, but the idea is that how do you increasingly as a franchise network, you have a brand identity, you have processes, you have SOPs, you have your franchise agreements, you have your FDDs, you've got your standard operating procedures, you've got suppliers, vendors, you've got national accounts spread out across the country, internationally even. How are you going to ensure that all the services are delivered everywhere in the same repeatable, customized, efficient way for you? The only way to do that is to centralize your platforms.
Yeah.
And that's where Vonigo is built and in its DNA to be that. And so we kind of take that and we offer it to you. If you're an aspiring franchisee, I mean, that's incredible, right? Because you're getting on the ground floor of a system that you won't have to change. And when you templatize everything for one location, the beauty is you can scale that from 2 to 500 without having to do anything additional. I mean, isn't that incredible? Right.
Yeah.
And we're talking global, and we're talking multi-brand. Like, you're not restricted in Vonigo. So you're saying, okay, hey, I operate in the Northeast. I'm a window cleaning company, right? Or a lawn mowing company. I'm a seasonal business, right? But man, I gotta start another brand here because I gotta do something else in the winter. Maybe we get in home and do carpet cleaning, right? What do I have to now that do I go to another CRM? Do I find another Vonigo? You don't need to, right? We already there with you. You just add another brand, throw the logo, and you customize it according to the carpet cleaning workflow. A franchisee buys 2 licenses, carpet and window cleaning, all in the one system. Training cost comes down. I mean, the economies of scale and the efficiencies you gain are incredible, right?
Yeah, that's really good. It's really good. All right, I read one of your recent blog on your site, and it's about the company called Gone for Good, the junk removal company.
That's right.
And did you do the onboarding for that guy, Reed?
For Reed Husmer, yeah. I mean, my team and I, we're basically we touch all onboardings, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I loved one of the things that was really interesting to me. So the background for everybody, the Gone for Good is a junk removal service in Colorado. They had 4 locations. I think they're building their 5th now, but they're basically 2 businesses in one. One is junk removal, and the other is like, we don't want to throw away a bunch of just landfill things that are good. So they have thrift store network, and they donate to other nonprofit organizations. And Reed had said, like, he basically he's like, here's the list of all the stuff. that I guarantee you can't do. And he was looking for, a stop sign along the way, just a yellow flag that says, nope, they can't do it. I'm out. And in the onboarding process is like every time he's like, well, what about this? I bet you haven't thought of this. And you're like, actually, we do that. And he said he just kept them green light, green light, green light. And now they love it.
Amazing.
What was that like, onboarding somebody that was looking for flaws?
Yeah. And you know what? It's very humbling, and it's very empowering to be able to, when you meet customers that are thinking, they come to us with a mindset that they have of what they're looking for, and then it naturally, as they talk to us, because we can't help ourselves. If you haven't noticed, I talk a lot already, right? So we can't help but impart, hey, have you thought about this? Let's challenge this a little bit, right? Because maybe it works for you today, but in 6 months, is this going to help you scale? Why? Because we have experience with it in other industries, where similar industries, where this has helped in the scaling, and this may hold you back. So what's cool is, not only are we providing the tangible product, but we're also providing the tangible process and the consultation and experience. We're putting that, we're not shying away from that. And junk removal is an awesome industry that you mentioned, Reed, and other folks that we have on the platform. I mean, it's, what's awesome for somebody like me, having been around for so long with the company, is, what I get a kick out of, and, is customer we onboarded 6 years ago, one location, now they're at 50. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you see their system, and sometimes, when I think something happens at home and I need to feel better about myself, if you know what I'm trying to say, but when the folks at home make my head go smaller, I'll pop into a customer like, yeah, that's cool, and you know what? That's the cool thing about this whole thing, right? Is in Reed's example, right? The customers come with a list, but some customers come with a small list, and then as we're talking, they add to their list what we're telling, what the system does, so they can now say, okay, here's the 12-month plan, here's the 18-month, and I think that synergy and that trust, it's really cool thing to be able to unlock the value and the power of the system for them.
Okay, cool. With actual building and running a robust piece of software like that, I mean, it used to be like you got all the programming nerds, all the
that's right.
But the back end coders, like, they think in code and diagrams, and they're like, they know how to make it work. But then when a mere mortal comes in the front end, they're like, I don't know where, like, oh my God, where do I put all this stuff? You also have front end developers, I'm sure, that make it, one of the things I noticed just from the website and looking at a couple of videos is like the user experience, the user interface is so clean that it looked like it's just, I mean, it's got to be easy to use nowadays, like really easy.
I will have to put myself firmly in the category of mere mortal. And I think that's part of the reason, when how I got into this was, to the industry overall, really was, my passion is helping, was always talking to customers, helping people. That's how it started, right? If you can't talk to my customers, they'll tell you that, sometimes they have to tell me to be quiet, but that's for another day. But the thing is, that was my thing. I got to help people. And then my other passion and love was technology. And so I said, okay, what am I going to do to put the two together, right? One thing I didn't want to do was be that person you described, right? The coder, because that I was like, you know what? There's got to be a way where I can combine the two loves. And at the start of my career, IBM took a chance on me, and I joined their services division. And that's where it was a combination of helping people use technology. And I was like, damn it, you can get paid for this? And so basically that almost a decade at IBM, right? And then now leveraging that with Vonigo and growing. The reason why, to connect the dot back to what you said, I'm an end user. Right. So when I'm using something that we're deploying, I'm the first one. We're the first one to give feedback. Hey, this needs to be intuitive, right? This needs to be built this way. And that not just goes, by the way, for our internal facing application that Reed and others use. We also have a whole suite of features that allows people like Reed and others to connect Vonigo to their website, so their end customers can access the platform and, let's say, schedule a job online. Okay. And we apply the same logic to that. Keep it KISS rule, right? Keep it simple, make it easy, and your customers will convert. And so that kind of prevails, right? And so we have a good balance of the folks that do the coding and then the front end people like us. And so that's what comes through in the product and its simplicity.
Okay. Yeah. So, and whenever I'm teaching business owners about running their business in, from a marketing and operational standpoint,
Yes.
one of the things that I always talk about is like, who's your competition? And they're like, oh, there are 10 other window cleaners in town or whatever. I'm like, that is not your competition. Your competition is Amazon. It's Amazon in this sense is like companies like Amazon have built such a friction-free interface where you can think of something, click 3 buttons, press 1, and it's on your porch tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And so the typical home service business, large or small, is filled with friction. It's like somebody calls, they leave a message. Then the next day they get a call back. Well, they miss it. And then they call back. And but now I'm like most people, I know what I want. And I want to go click 2 buttons and have it be on my schedule. And then I can forget about it and move on with my day. How does Vonigo handle the scheduling when you're dealing with, like, let's say it's a multi-location operation, but they've got multiple crews and, there's a lot of variables like what areas are they in? How much time do they need for the new job? What crew is available to go there? What dates and times work for the customers? Is there a simplified integration or within Vonigo where a client you hit the widget on your website that says book now and just go pick a date and boop, boop, and it fits within the calendar for the business owner?
Yeah, totally. That's exactly how it works. And, what's interesting that you said, right, about Amazon is, and, Apple changed the game for what's possible, right? If my, God bless her, 96-year-old grandmother can use a phone, right? That's what's really happened, right? Is what Steve Jobs and what Apple did, and then with Amazon and everybody else, is they've made everything easy to use and extremely accessible from anywhere we are, right? And so we, as businesses on the software end of it, we've had to match up to that, and because our customers, we have to reverse engineer the experience from their eyes backwards, right? So it's really about when our customers are going online to book a junk removal job or a carpet cleaning job, what experience are we providing them? How easy is it to use? Now, all of that on the front end is going to look very simple, but behind it is the logic that we work with the customer to set up. To your point, you could have hundreds of trucks, hundreds of technicians, each with a different skill set, each with a different area of coverage, right? And the system, we provide inside of the Vonigo platform the ability for you to configure that in a very easy way. So what happens is when that job lands on your schedule, it's an actual job because the customer's booking, while it's simple on the front end, it's jumped through the hoops behind the scenes automatically. So when you come in, you're never really closed for business. That's the beauty. You set the hours. When you close your business on Friday, bookings are still coming in on the weekend for next week when you're open. And so the idea is, to your point, gone are the days of text tags and phone tags, right? There's none of those forms that are designed to look like you're booking the job, but as soon as you pick a time, and like, we'll call you back, right? You're like, ah, shucks, they got me again, right? But with Vonigo's ability, because of our and that feeds into the multi-franchise, because what defines a franchise, right? It's territories, and they have territories are a collection of zip codes, right? So if we, through one singular user interface, you could punch in a zip code in California and book with the franchise local to you. And on the exact same interface at the exact same time, somebody could be putting in a zip code of Florida and booking in the exact same way with their local Florida franchisee. And so it's that scalability and that efficiency, and then the predictability. You set the available times, you set the technicians and their skill sets, and the booking lands correctly. And you no longer have to play phone tag. And what an amazing way to just grow your business while you're in bed.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a piece of software we've used for a decade now, and we love it. Love it because people can go, for us, they can go online and they fill out their information and answer a few questions, and they get a precise estimate for their cleaning job. Perfect. And then they can go right through the process and schedule it. However, it's been a couple of years, but this year, for me, I'm gonna set it and forget it. So it's in there, it's working, it's making us money. I'm really happy. But I every couple of years, I'll look at everything with try to get fresh eyes. Like I'm the consumer seeing it for the first time. And so I went through the process, and after, typing in all my contact information and checking a couple boxes, then you start answering questions. And there were 14 steps that I had to answer before I could hit submit after putting in my name. And I realized how spoiled I've become with technology and my desire to not have friction in my life. At the fourth step, I wanted to throw, I was like, if I were the customer, I would not finish this.
Yeah.
I would just click it off and go somewhere else. I was like, oh, damn, this is, how do we, how's the ease of use?
And that's, I'm totally with you. And I think that's where we excel at creating a system and on a front end part of the system that is both easy to use, but the engine behind it is where the complexity is. But it's not something you need to worry about, right? That's behind the scenes. The UI layer is the user interface layer that you're interacting with. It's, like you said, modern and simple, and that carries through all the interfaces, even the configuration stuff. We make the vast majority of the configuration changes that you can make as an operator that you may need to make today or in 2 years are already available to you day one. So we kind of take you through that, what that setup or that brain part of the system is. So you're kind of already aware. And because you're so used to using the system and its clicks and where the buttons are, that other interface where you make the settings and the configuration changes, that comes intuitively to you. And it's all part of the system. You don't have to call us. Like if you're adding a technician, 1 or 100, you're adding a QuickBooks integration, anything you're adding, you don't have to reach out to our support team. You can actually just do it yourself. And, that's the coolest thing, right? We power you to do it, whether you need to do something in 3 months or later on down the road. And then the same thing applies, Sid, to the customer facing interface, right? Because that's when we got to put on our marketing hat, right? And what's interesting is some customers will say, hey, when a customer goes online to book, if I don't ask them these 15 questions, how am I going to be able to fulfill their booking? Because if this guy, I need these 15 questions. And that's where we have to kind of challenge and work together and say, listen, our attention spans as a customer, as an end user, our attention spans are, they're not what they used to be. You're looking at somebody who's going to your website, and with real-time online scheduling that Vonigo has, why not make it so simple that it's, it doesn't interfere with their attention span. They're like, wow, this is so cool. Punch in my zip code, select the service I want, book.
Yeah.
What you've just done is you've kept their attention. You haven't bothered them with 15 questions because guess what? Your technician is probably going to go on site and reconfirm those questions anyway. So why ask up front? Why create that friction, right?
Yeah.
Get the booking in because, hey, when somebody books with you, guess what they did? They checked their calendar. They made a commitment, right? So why throw those 15 questions up now where your competitor is probably not doing that, right? So that whole idea of ease of use, attention span, conversions, metrics, that doesn't sound sexy in the technology sense, but we're dealing with real people at the end of the day. So we've got to make sure that we're providing the right solutions, right? And we do collaborate with customers all the time on those kinds of things.
Yeah. Okay. So I would love to hear what you see in the, in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Here's an example that for us recently. So we've got a window cleaning business. I have an auto detailing shop as well. And
nice.
So, every year we do a SEO audit, and now it's AEO and GEO and all the acronyms. But we ran it through, I ran it through a Claude prompt to compare our business to every other, auto detail shop in our area. And there's like 12. And it came back and I was shocked. It said, yours is the only one that offers an online booking option. I'm like, that's like 10 years ago. If you said, I don't have a website, I would go, what the hell? Are there still, do you run into many potential clients that literally don't have online booking on their website? And you're like, come out of the dark ages, buddy.
We do. And, the opportunity and the pleasure I've had of being here for so long, the percentages have gone down. Mm-hmm. Where, back when I first started, it was like, we can send texts to our customers, right? Mm-hmm. It was, that transition, right? What became, and of course, we're not living in a vacuum as business owners, right? It is on both sides, whether us or our customers, we're, culture and pop culture and what's accepted as societal norms has changed over the years, right?
Yeah.
And as you have younger generations becoming your customers, look at your core demographics. What are they expecting of you, right? Steve Jobs had this line at Apple, right? Is, customers don't know what they want. We tell them what they want. We tell
Mhm.
them, right? And so your customers today, when they have reached a level of expectation from you, which is for them, anything is possible. And if you're not offering online booking, you don't have certain automations in place, um, and your competitors do, now it's a different ballgame, right? So you've got to level up, and you've got to break through that whatever reticence you have of holding back. I don't want my price book showing online. Sure, why not ask? Come and ask us. We're going to help you create an online solution that you control. We're not saying put your prices on there, right? You don't have to, right?
Mhm.
A lot of businesses are like the painting companies, right? You just go online, you book an estimate, right? What's the harm in that, right? Let a
Yeah.
customer book an estimate because you're going to have to go on site anyway. So totally, I think, Sid, that's a key thing. We still come across those customers, and at onboarding, I love those customers because then I'm like, okay, all right, here's somebody that we're going to explain this to and really make it make sense for them. And to your point earlier with franchising, sometimes in franchise customers, because obviously we're dealing with the franchisor and their customers are the franchisees, there is some reticence and there's some concern about enabling online booking. But
Yeah.
in my experience, right, uh, those customers that didn't activate it in onboarding, 3 months later, they're reaching out and saying, you know what, let's do it, right? And so,
Yeah.
and so, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is a great question, and certainly something we see, and we want folks to do that. I mean, why not? Why not online booking, right? Why not automations?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. With you guys serve from large to small. I mean, we've
Absolutely.
talked about multi-location. We've talked about
Yes.
large companies, franchises. Like, how small is too small for Vonigo? Where is it too small to be a good fit? And then what's the sweet spot for a company to be ideal for Vonigo and vice versa?
Look, I think in terms of if you're an operator that is, if you're an owner operator running out of your van with a phone, Vonago can work for you. If you have 3 technicians, 4 technicians. So the way we can position and the configurability of Vonago, it's a modular system.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is if you only want to use what you need to use today, you can have a very simple version to run with. And so the idea is that we don't overwhelm you with everything day one because you're an owner operator or you're a 5 tech company or a 10 tech company, right? And so we can modularly turn things on or off. And so that's where the beauty of the system is it can scale with you from day one. And nobody started a business to stay owner operator, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to cap their growth, cap their revenue. That's it. And so I think it's when they see the potential, then they're able to decide, hey, am I in the right time cycle of my business to jump into Vonigo? And most of the times, if not all the time, they're like, yeah, this makes sense to me today because if I get in now, I'm establishing the flexibility, the processes, the standardization, the efficiency, so that if I were to hire even an office dispatcher, there's just gonna be an easy onboarding. There'll be a nice fit, and that's what we're here to help with is scale and grow efficiently, and hey, grow revenue. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very cool. We'd like revenue. We like
I love it.
all of that stuff. So let's take a couple of minutes to
Sure.
like just to brag about what you guys do well. Like, if somebody, it's not a sales pitch, but it's
Yeah.
honestly, you go, this is what we do better than anybody else.
Our experience at Vonigo, working over the years we've been in business with customers in multiple industries of varying different sizes, has given us a cache of information and knowledge because we've continued to stay in that lane and grow with those customers, and those customers have grown with us. So we have a unique knowledge base that we bring to you, the product and the knowledge. And what happens is with Vonigo, one of the differentiators of many differentiators we have is when you work with us and you start, you will notice right away that our onboarding process is extremely consultative. We will work with you to craft a system that works for you, not the other way around, right? We're going to take the system, We specialize in that. It's modular. We configure it to your needs that are in place today. We show you what's possible for the future. You're able to do things like CRM and dispatching and scheduling and reporting and management. And so you retain as a business owner. One of the concerns, dilemmas, and challenges folks have is, if I'm growing, am I doing it the right way? Am I going to run into challenges with adding zip codes or adding technicians and figuring out how they all fit together? Vonigo solves that for you. If you have a dilemma or a concern about, hey, if I grow my business, are my technicians going to be completing work orders or invoices the same way that I would? You have control and flexibility to manage that process and have peace of mind. So you're getting a system that sits at the heartbeat of your business. It grows and scales with you, and we bring our collective knowledge and help to steer and challenge you when it's appropriate. So because we want to be a trusted partner with you and not just somebody who's selling you another piece of software.
Excellent. And how long you've been there 13 years.
Yes.
What's sort of the average stick rate? Is it 10 years, 5 years?
Yeah, we have 8 to 10 years, I would say. We've got lots of folks that have been with the company for many, many years. And, speaking from personal experience, I've had great opportunity. I've had, you bring your entrepreneurial spirit to the job, and you kind of have the flexibility. That's what software companies provide these days. You're not working in a closed. Gone are the days of kind of, you're kind of working in a closed situation where this is your job. The beauty of things the way they're trending now is, you contribute where you can, and every day is different. Every day brings challenges. I love meeting with new customers. That's what we do, right? Is hey, what are your challenges? What can we do for you? How do we solve your problems? How do we help you today, tomorrow, and in the future? And it's amazing when the retention we have and the ability that we have with customers that, as we talked off the top, when they're like, yeah, you guys have already thought of it. Okay, I get it. Yep. All right, this is it. I mean, this is the platform I need, and this will be what I need to. This is what I'll stick with for the future, and that's cool. That works well.
Yeah,
we enjoy providing that power of. We say we like to sit at the heartbeat of our customers' business, right? We are the critical operations management system, and that's really, really rewarding to be able to do that for so many different customers.
That's cool. Well, the huge convention.
Yes.
And you guys are booth 718.
We are.
It's happening 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks.
Come on down. Come on down to booth 718. We got some cool stuff. Spin the wheel for your chance to win some cash. But more importantly, not that cash is not important, but come on down, learn how we can transform your business. Come with an open mind, come with a curious mind, ask questions. No questions too bad, no questions too strange. Throw it at us, test us out, and I think you'll walk away surprised. I think you'll see what the product can do, how it's been constructed, the thought that's gone into it, and it'll be time well spent.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, before we go, I have to compliment you on the beard. The full grow. So about 15 years ago, we had, in our employee manual, it's like, make sure you're clean shaven, and we got a uniform and all the stuff. And we hired a guy who is an experienced rock climber, excellent part of the team, problem solver, hard worker, giant beard. And I was like, I can't ask this guy to cut the beard, man. That's an investment. So we rewrote our employee handbook to say our dress code, you have to be clean shaven unless you're growing an amazing facial garden. So that's how we named it. You've got the amazing facial garden.
I will take that as a compliment. And interestingly enough, the beard is as old as I've been at Vonigo.
Oh, is it really?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm your son.
Huh?
As old as your son.
That's right. That's right. So, a few changes happened 13 years ago.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I appreciate that. So there you go. I would fit right in. And but that's awesome. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, along with 1,500 other business owners, and enjoy the rush.
We're absolutely looking forward to it, and happy to be there.
Thanks for spending some time with us. I really appreciate it. I'm going to end the stream, but I'd like to stay on for a second. I have a question for you offline.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. Cool. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye, folks.